हेलो एवरीवन। इस वीडियो में मैं आप लोगों के साथ हरियाणा जुडिशियल सर्विसेज एग्ज़ाम 2022 के मेंस पेपर्स को डिस्कस करूंगी। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन पेपर इज़ सिविल लॉ 1 and it is important to note that all questions were compulsory. Attempt all the questions in the same order in which they appear in the question paper. Marks for the individual questions are indicated against each question. Support your answer with the relevant provisions and case law. No extra answer sheet will be provided. Maximum marks 200 and the time duration 3 hours. First question is, on what ground can pleadings be amended and can an amendment be allowed even if it is barred by limitation? Next, on what ground can an appellate court set aside the judgment of the trial court? Next, on what ground can judgment debtor object to execution of decree for recovery of immovable property? So these three are sub-part of question number 1. Next question is, explain the meaning of ex parte decree and elaborate on the remedies available to a person against whom ex parte decree is passed. Next, A notify in the newspaper that he lost his watch worth INR. His watch worth INR 1 lakh while shifting his house and announced the award that anyone who found the watch and brought it to him will be rewarded with INR 10,000 as the watch was gifted by his father and it is precious watch for him. B, the person who transported his goods from his old house to the new one found his watch and brought it to A. B was not aware of the award announced in the newspaper. Coming to know subsequently about the award that had been announced, B decided to sue A for recovery of the reward. Decide the dispute applying the relevant provisions of the law along with reasons. Next question. P applied for the post of headmaster in a school. The selection committee passed a resolution appointing him to the post, but the decision was not communicated to him. One of the members of the committee, however, in his individual capacity, informed P about the decision. Subsequently, the managing committee cancelled its resolution and appointed someone else instead of P. P filed a petition against the decision. Decide the case applying relevant provisions of law along with reasons. Next, A minor was facing criminal prosecution for dacoity. He borrowed rate 2,000 from B to defend himself. The creditor did not know that A was a minor at the time of the agreement. Will the creditor succeed in receiving the amount under Contract Act? Furnish reasons. Next, A's marriage is scheduled for 24th of March 2020. In furtherance of the same, he enters into a contract with the catering company C. C is hired to serve a buffet at the wedding. However, on the 22nd March, the government puts a ban on gathering of more than 10 people. This results in the cancellation of the wedding. Discuss the legal position. Next question. Under what circumstances is a plaintiff bound to seek declaration of the title in addition to the recovery of possession of immovable property? Can a co-owner file a suit for injunction against another co-owner? If so, under what circumstances? Can an ex parte mandatory injunction be granted? If so, under what circumstances? Do courts have discretion to deny specific performance? If so, under what circumstances? Next question. What is the best evidence rule? Elaborate. What is electronic evidence? Explain under what circumstances electronic records are admissible in any court proceeding without further formal proof or production of the original. Next question. Is the document procured by improper or illegal means admissible in evidence? If so, then under what circumstances? Next question. 4 partners established a partnership for refining sugar. One of them was a wholesale grocer and had great skill in buying sugar at the right and proper time for the business. Accordingly, the business of selecting and purchasing sugar was entrusted to him. According to his skill and knowledge, he brought sugar for himself at a time when he thought the price was likely to rise. The sugar rose in value and the firm was in need of the same. He sold his own sugar to the firm without letting the partners know that it was his sugar that was sold. Is he accountable if he makes any profit at the expense of the firm? Give reasons. Next, Akansha sold her scooter to Bhumika for a sum of rate 17,000. Bhumika says pays the whole price except rate 1,000, which she promised to pay within a week. Akansha holds possession of the scooter until the rest of the money is paid, but before the expiry of the time, Bhumika becomes insolvent. Akansha resold the scooter to Chetana for 17,500 without giving notice to the Bhumika. Whether the resale is valid, can Bhumika claim rate 500, the profit on resale? Give reasons. This question is related to Sales of Goods Act, rights of unpaid seller. Next question. Yamini in Bombay places an online order to Vamika in Chennai to send a packet of patented medicine. Accordingly, Vamika dispatches the order and delivers the packet. Yamini finds some defect in the medicine on opening the bottle. Vamika refused to refund as the bottle is now open. Can Yamini claim the refund? Give reasons. This is also related to the Sales of Goods Act. Next question. What are the different classes of civil court prescribed in the Punjab Court Act 1918? Next, under what circumstances can the fair rent fixed under Haryana Urban Control of Rent and Eviction Act 1973 be revised? Enumerate and explain the circumstances under which a landlord may set the law in motion for the eviction of his tenant under the Haryana Urban Control of Rent and Eviction Act 1973. Next question paper is Civil Law 2 question paper and time duration 3 hours, maximum marks 200. First question is, what are the changes made by the Hindu Succession Act 1956 by the Act 39 of 2005 as regard the succession to ancestral property by a Hindu female? Cite latest case law on the point. So the effect of 2005 Amendment Act in the Hindu Succession Act is to be mentioned in this question. Next question is, A Hindu alienates co-partnership property in the lifetime of his son B without B's consent and without justifying necessity. B dies 2 years after the sale. 6 months after B's death, another son C is born to A's wife from A. Advise about C's right to challenge the alienation of the property made by his father. Next question. Anjali, a Hindu girl, wants to marry a Muslim boy without relinquishing her faith. Discuss in detail with relevant provision and procedure under which law she can marry. So this is relating to Special Marriage Act. Next question. Elaborate on concept of void and voidable marriages regarding Hindus. What is the status of the children born to person whose marriages are void and what are the rights of such child? Next question. A boy and a girl wants to marry each other. The boy is girl's paternal aunt's son. Explain whether the marriage in this relationship would be valid as per the Hindu Marriage Act. So this is relating to section 5 of Hindu Marriage Act, prohibited degree of relationship. Next question. A widower or a bachelor adopts a child. He later marries. What would be the status of the wife with regard to the child? Give reasons for your answer. Next question. Sunaina and Kartik got married as per the norm of Hindu law. When they were not blessed with a child for more than 3 years, they consulted a doctor. After examining both of them, the doctor disclosed that medical issues are with the Sunaina. She started taking the necessary treatment for infertility but could not conceive. She insisted that Kartik should divorce her and marry another woman and get a progeny for himself. Frustrated, Kartik adopted a baby boy without consulting his wife. Can the child be considered the adopted child of the Sunaina and Kartik under Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act 1956? Explain the conditions for a valid adoption under the Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act 1956. Next question, what are the grounds on which an order granting maintenance by a court be varied by it later? Explain. Next question is, can a child in the womb at the time of the death of an intestate inherit the property of the intestate? If so, when does such inheritance vest in him? Next, explain the concept of adverse possession briefly with the reference to case law. Next, explain the difference between applicability of Section 5 and Section 14 of the Limitation Act 1963 with relation to suits. Next question, can a property in the absence of any evidence as to who created the waqf be created a waqf property? Explain. Also discuss the circumstances wherein any sale, gift, lease, exchange, mortgage or transfer of waqf property shall be void ab initio under the Waqf Act 1995. Next question, explain the legal position regarding talaq-e-bid'at in Muslim law. Next, elaborate on the concept of judicial separation and divorce and also the difference between them. Next question, write in detail the ground for dissolution of a Muslim marriage and emphasize on the effect of conversion to another faith with regards to the dissolution of Muslim marriage. This is relating to the Dissolution of Muslim Marriage Act 1939. Next question, explain as to whether a document which narrates only the pre-existing title to a property is compulsorily registrable under the Registration Act or not. So the list of the documents which are compulsorily registrable is provided under Section 17 of Registration Act. Next question, what is the effect of non-registration of a document which is required to be registered? This is provided under Section 49 of Registration Act. Next question, write short notes on natural de facto and de jure guardian and easementary right. So this was the civil law 2 paper, and now third paper is criminal law. First question is, elaborate the power of a magistrate under Section 145 CRPC and the procedure prescribed. Next question, a police report forwarded to the magistrate under Section 173 subclause 2 of CRPC stated that a person Om Prakash has committed an offence. A protest petition was also filed referring to the some statement recorded under Section 161 CRPC, whereby it was suggested that another person named Sanjeev is also involved in the crime. Magistrate took cognizance under Section 190 subclause 1 subclause B of CRPC, that means on police report, and issued process against both the persons. Sanjeev has challenged the order on the ground that magistrate should have followed the procedure under Section 200 CRPC, that is complaint proceeding, before issuing process against him as he acted on the protest petition. Decide and give reasons. Next question, write short note on victim and criminal justice system. Difference between a statement recorded under Section 161 CRPC and recorded under Section 164 CRPC. Parameters to be considered while granting anticipatory bail and regular bail. Cancellation of the bail. Short note on all these 4 topics. Next question is, what are the principles to be followed by a court while exercising its power under Section 427 CRPC as regard concurrent running of the sentences? Next, under what circumstances can charge once framed be altered and at what stage? Explain with the relevant case law. Next, what are the circumstances under which the prosecution can be withdrawn and explain it with the relevant case laws. Next, what is the law governing summoning of a person to face trial as an additional accused? So this is relating to the additional accused section 319 CRPC. Next question, write short note on difference between dacoity and robbery under IPC. Limitation on exercise of right of private defense, section 99 IPC. Difference between hurt and grievous hurt. Difference between common intention and common object. Hurt and grievous hurt is provided under section 319 and 320 IPC. Common intention, common object, section 34 and section 149 IPC. What are the ingredient of offense under section 295A IPC? So their essentials is to be mentioned of section 295A IPC. Next question is, discuss the admissibility of multiple dying declaration under the Evidence Act with reference to the case laws. Next question, what is the protection given to a public servant who is accused of committing an offense? Next question, critically analyze the difference between the murder and culpable homicide with the help of case law. Next question, X while studying in undergraduate class become intimate with Y while the latter was not much interested in the relationship and always informed X about her position. After they pass out from college, X met Y, who in the meantime had got engaged elsewhere and told her that she should not marry anyone else. This put Y in a very difficult position. She informed the same to her parents. Upon call by the parents of Y, X demanded a sum of rate 2 lakh to be out of the scene for the marriage of Y. Even the family of X told him that if the said amount is not paid to their son, then he can do anything. Y's father did not accept this and filed FIR to the police. Identify what type of the crime is committed by X. Can it be said that the family of X is also guilty? Next question is, distinguish between admissions and confessions and also explain when confession made to a police officer become admissible in evidence. Next question, write short note on facts which need not be proved, may presume and shall presume, accomplice evidence, burden of proof and onus of proof. Next question is, what is the role reserved for the doctrine of res ipsa liquidator in criminal law? This is language paper English. Write an essay on any one of the following topics in about 1000 to 1100 words, and total marks for essay is 100 marks, and the topics are the advantage and pitfall of online education. Education is a progressive discovery of our own ignorance. The future of agriculture in India. Is common civil code a necessity in India? And last one is judicial activism useful for civil society? Next question is, make sentences using the following words: invincible, diffident, atrocity, infallible, collude, deprecate, pragmatic, amnesia, cryptic, insinuate. Next question is, make a précis of the following passage in about 1/3 of its original length and also assign a suitable title to it. So this is précis writing. Of 25 marks. Next question is, read the following passage carefully and answer the questions given below. So this is comprehension basically of 25 marks. Next question is, correct the following sentences, and this is relating to the correction of the sentences. Last question paper is Hindi language. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, निम्नलिखित गद्यांश का हिंदी में अनुवाद करें. So this is relating to the translation. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज निम्नलिखित गद्यांश की व्याख्या सरल हिंदी में करें. सो दिस इज गद्यांश टू बी एक्सप्लेन. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज निम्नलिखित पद्यांशों की व्याख्या करें. एंड दीज आर पद्यांश. सो गद्यांश एंड पद्यांश बोथ आर ऑफ 15 marks each and translation is of 20 marks. And in this question both padyansh are to be attempted. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज निम्नलिखित अशुद्ध शब्दों को शुद्ध करके लिखिए. एंड नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज निम्नलिखित अशुद्ध वाक्यों को शुद्ध करके लिखें. एंड लास्ट वन इज निम्नलिखित मुहावरों के अर्थ लिखकर वाक्यों में प्रयोग कीजिए. नो दिस इज लास्ट क्वेश्चन इज निम्नलिखित विषयों में से किसी एक पर निबंध लिखें. एंड निबंध इज ऑफ 30 marks एंड टॉपिक्स आर आधुनिक शिक्षा प्रणाली, पर्यावरण के संकट और विकल्प, शहरों की ओर बढ़ता पलायन, पराधीन सपने हो सुख नाही, भारतीय संविधान की गरिमा. दिस इज़ द लास्ट क्वेश्चन. एंड मुहावरे एंड लोकोक्तियाँ. मुहावरे गड़े मुर्दे उखाड़ना, घड़ों पानी पड़ना, त्योरियाँ चढ़ाना, गागर में सागर भरना, चिकना घड़ा होना, पों बारह होना, कंगाली में आटा गीला, हाथों के तोते उड़ जाना, ऊँट के मुंह में ज़ीरा, एक अनार सौ बीमार. So this was Hindi language paper, and this was all about Haryana Judicial Service Commission exam 2022. I hope this video will help you. Thanks for watching.